Hello, world. Welcome to the best breakfast ever with Barbie Lee. This is the time where we shake up your wake up, right? What we do here at the best breakfast ever is we help you change your breakfast to change your life. Plus, I'm going to start saying plus, the little plus sign at the end of that. A lot of people go, do you just do breakfast? No, we do life. Okay, just saying. Just check out our website. Go to bestbreakfastever.com. It'll tell you what we do. All right, so we are still on we still got this much of the book to do. We're going on this forever. All right, 150th healthiest foods on earth. And we're going to start on grains. Now, here's what's really interesting about the grains is there's only 2 grains that made the list and then a runner-up. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, grains, whole grains, they're so healthy. So I'm going to read to you a little bit from the book about what the author says about grains, and then I want you to make your own decision. Okay, this is I provide information, you then make a decision what you're going to do with it. Okay, so he writes, you may be puzzled by the almost absence of grains in the 150 healthiest foods, but because aren't they nutritional and stuff? And there was some guy named Loren Cordain. He's a PhD, and he's the world's most renowned scientist doing groundbreaking research in the original human diet. Okay, he's a professor of health science, and he has all these credentials, right? And he says basically the human genetic constitution has not changed much in the past 40,000 years. Okay, and it says for years mankind's presence on the planet rarely, if ever, consumed cereal grains. The natural diet is hunted, fished, or gathered or plucked. Okay. So agriculture has made it possible for humans to live in cities and literally for civilizations to flourish. Here's the double. It says 8 cereal grains. So wheat, corn, rice, barley, sorghum, oats, rye, and millet now provide, get this, 56% of the calories and 50% of the protein consumed on Earth. That's a lot. Within these crops, the planet could not support 6 billion people, or without these crops. So here's the double-edged sword. On the one hand, without cereal grains, we would not have the cities, the civilization, industry, etc. that we have. Take away rice, wheat, and corn, and half of the people on Earth will not eat. Right? The dwindling supplies of our natural diet of wild animals and plants, together with the huge expansion of the planet's population, make agriculture necessary for survival. Okay, so we know that, right? We get that. But cereal grains are a nutritional compromise, all right? So it says, they're not nearly as healthy nor as nutritionally complete, and they're not perfectly suited to our ancient digestive wiring as the foods that they have replaced. So cereal grains, a recent addition to the diet of humanity, right? Give or take 10,000 years. Basically, he points out that we have actually had little time since its inception of agricultural revolution to adapt to a type of food that now represents humanity's major source of calories and protein. It says, truth be told, grains have a host of nutritional shortcomings. He said, it's finally becoming accepted wisdom that the refined grains, which constitute most of our cereals, pastas, and grains, are absolutely useless nutritionally. Are you hearing this? Absolutely useless nutritionally. Whole grains are light years, he says, but I'm not 100% whole grains are even light years better. One reason is that no grain can be eaten in a completely unrefined state. No one plucks wheat from the ground and starts eating it. It has to be processed, right? So it says, ostensibly, whole grains have been less processed and less milled than their really refined junk, and therefore contain more of the bran, etc. But read the label of what most whole grain cold cereals, they are fiber lightweights. It's rare to find a cereal with 5 grams of fiber per serving. Most have 1 or 2. A friend of mine always said, just eat the box. That's what I say about cereal now. Just eat the box. It's more fiber in the fibers of the box. It'll help you poop. And then there's the gluten issue, right? So then he brings up the gluten issue. And he says, gluten is a primary component of grains such as barley, rye, oats, and especially wheat. A full-blown allergy to gluten is called celiac disease. Okay, you've all heard that? Okay, that's good. It says, And at one time, it was thought to affect 1 in 200 people. Now it's 1 in 33. So all of these grains comprise of a huge portion of our diet, yet 1 in 33 have an intolerance to gluten. It's something we got to look at, guys, like really. It says, although I can't prove it, scientifically beyond a shadow of a doubt, in the experience of thousands of people, the removal of wheat and dairy and sugar produces remarkable relief from a wide variety of symptoms, not the least of which is unwanted weight and bloat. So tomorrow we're going to talk about what's wrong with the food pyramid and how to choose your grains wisely. And then we're going to talk about the next 2 grains. Have an amazing day. Ooh, best breakfast ever. Cheers.